Good afternoon, I'm Holly Maynard. Doug has the day off.
I'm Jenny Ryan. A scene reminiscent of the civil rights marches in the 1960s. The population of Jena, Louisiana is about 7 times what it normally is. About 20,000 people from all over the country converged on Jena today to support 6 black teens who have become known as the Jena 6. The group is charged in connection with the beating of a white student. Many of the marchers are unhappy with the way the 6 are being treated compared to 3 white students who were also involved in a school fight. Marchers say they want equal justice.
I hope that the DA will wake up and realize that he's doing the wrong thing and to release these kids and let them go.
This case has been portrayed by the news media as being about race. The fact that it takes place in a small southern town lends itself to that portrayal. But this case is not and never has been about race. It is about finding justice for an innocent victim and holding people accountable for their actions.
The DA said he could not charge the white students with a crime for hanging nooses on a tree because there is no law against it. Some charges against the black teens have been downgraded. One of them is expected back in court very soon.
And some local students at schools around here are showing their support for the Jena 6. Some at School of the Arts wore black today to honor the black teenagers in Louisiana. And a student from MCC collected hundreds of signatures from people outraged by the case. As 13 UM Shalonda Roberts tells us, that student hopes to make a difference in the justice system.
Within 24 hours, 19-year-old Victoria McDonald collected more than 500 signatures to support the 6 black teenagers now known as the Jena 6. The MCC student drives the message over.
The students who hung the nooses with 3-day suspension.
And over.
And after this happened, in December, there was a white student going around high school calling black students the N-word.
And over.
Which carries a charge of 22 years to life in prison.
Some were familiar with the incident that happened hundreds of miles away, and for those who weren't, she took the time to explain.
They got into a fight with him. He went to the hospital for minor aches and bruises, and a couple hours later, he had left the hospital and went to a party.
Critics say 6 black students were unfairly charged for beating a white classmate. This after the black students protested the light punishment some white students received who hung nooses in a tree on the school campus.
I think it's pretty extreme, and they should have done something about them hanging the nooses before anything else got out of hand.
Well, I've always been a believer that racism didn't stop in the 60s and 70s. It's still around. It's just taken different forms. It's something that we deal with on a day-to-day basis.
McDonald realizes she's one person who hopes to make a difference, sending a message from people in Rochester, New York, to the small southern town in Louisiana.
If we all get together and collectively raise our voices, there's going to be changes that's going to be made, because this can't go on for so much longer. How long do you? This is injustice. This is racial injustice. No matter how much you want to sugarcoat it, this is racism in full effect in 2007.
McDonald hopes to collect at least 1,000 signatures. She not only collects them at her school, but she also solicits signatures at her church and within the community. She will send them to the Jena 6 Coalition in Louisiana. Also, tonight she is holding a vigil at the Underground Cafe at 480 West Main Street in Rochester. That's at 7 this evening. McDonald hopes to engage people in open discussion about the incident.
I'm curious, is she hoping with the coalition to change one specific law, or is it to send a broader message about the justice system and what's going on right now?
McDonald says she's hoping to send a broader message. She says there are disparities in the justice system. So she, as she mentioned, says that she's young. She's 19 years old, and if she doesn't make a difference or help to make a difference this go around, she'll continue. As you can see, she's a determined young lady.
All right, thank you. Shalonda Roberts in the newsroom.
As thousands of people gathered in Jena, Louisiana today to show support for 6 black students charged in the beating of a white classmate, students here also supported the so-called Jena 6. The students wore all black, and one MCC student collected hundreds of signatures to support those teenagers. She realizes she's only one person who, combined with others, can make a difference.
I'm only 19 years old. All I can do is read about the marches that's going on in Martin Luther King, the marches with Malcolm X. All I can do is read about it. I never thought I would see the day where I have to go around collecting petitions to help get some black men out of jail when they did nothing but demand respect from other people who were disrespecting me.
McDonald hopes to collect at least 1,000 signatures, and she will send them to the Jena 6 Coalition in Louisiana. Well,